Today is May the 13th. What does it mean to serve the Lord? Well, let's see what Paul says about that. We're going to read 1 Corinthians 7 from 25 to 40. Now concerning virgins, I have no command of the Lord, but I give my opinion as one who by the Lord's mercy is trustworthy. I think that in view of the impending crisis, it's good for you to remain as you are. Are you bound to a wife? Don't seek to be free. Are you free from a wife? Don't seek a wife. But if you marry, you don't sin. If a virgin marries, she does not sin. Yet those who marry will experience distress in the flesh. I'd spare you that. I mean, brothers and sisters, the appointed time has grown short. From now on, let even those who have wives be as though they had none, and those who mourn as though they were not mourning, and those who rejoice as though they were not rejoicing, and those who buy as though they had no possessions, and those who deal with the world as though they had no dealings with it. For the present form of this world is passing away. I want you to be free from anxiety. The unmarried man is anxious about the affairs of the Lord, how to please the Lord. But the married man is anxious about the affairs of this world, how to please his wife, and his interests are divided. The unmarried woman and the virgin are anxious about the affairs of the Lord, so they may be holy in body and spirit. But the married woman is anxious about the affairs of this world, how to please her husband. I say this for your benefit, not to put any restraint upon you, but to promote good order and unhindered devotion to the Lord. If anyone thinks that he's behaving indecently toward his fiancée, if his passions are strong, so it has to be. Let him marry as he wishes. It's no sin. Let them marry. But if someone stands firm in his resolve, being under no necessity, but having his own desire under control, and is determined in his own mind to keep her as his fiancée, he'll do well. So then, he who marries his fiancée does well. He who refrains from marriage will do better. A wife is bound as long as her husband lives, but if the husband dies, she is free to marry anyone she wishes, only in the Lord. But in my opinion, she is more blessed if she remains as she is. And I think that I too have the Spirit of God. This whole passage is introduced by Paul saying, now in these things I have no command from the Lord, but here's what I think. Here's my take on it. Now, again, he says, if you're single, remain as you are. If you're married, stay as you are. Really, we should understand this in the context of what marriage meant in Corinth and in Rome in general. You didn't marry because you loved someone. You married because you wanted to better your social status. Paul says, if that's what you're doing, if you are looking to better your social status, don't bother. Now, in a context in which marriage is because of love and actually a desire to be together and minister together, I think Paul's advice would be different. In fact, later on in verses 36 and 37, he says so. But you can marry. It is okay. Paul does make quite a bit of the fact that we're now living in the end times. We must be focused. We should be concerned primarily about serving the Lord. Serving the Lord. Let's go back to Deuteronomy chapter 10 and see what it says about serving the Lord.
At that time the Lord said to me, carve out 2 tablets of stone like the former ones, and come to me on the mountain, and make an ark of wood. I will write on the tablets the words that were on the former tablets, which you smashed, and you shall put them in the ark. So I made an ark of acacia wood, cut 2 tablets of stone like the former ones, and went up the mountain with the 2 tablets in my hand. Then he wrote on the tablets the same words as before, the 10 commandments that the Lord had spoken to you on the mountain, out of the fire on the day of the assembly, and the Lord gave them to me. So I turned and came down from the mountain and put these tablets in the ark that I made, and there they are, as the Lord commanded me. The Israelites journeyed from Beeroth Bene-Jaakan to Masora. There Aaron died, and he was buried. His son Eleazar succeeded him as priest. From there they journeyed to Gudbada to Jokpata, a land with flowing streams. At that time the Lord set apart the tribe of Levi to carry the ark of the covenant of the Lord, to stand before the Lord to minister to him and to bless in his name to this day. Therefore Levi has no annulment or inheritance with his kindred. The Lord is his inheritance, as the Lord your God promised him. I stayed on the mountain 40 days and 40 nights, as I had done the first time, and once again the Lord listened to me. The Lord was unwilling to destroy you. The Lord said to me, "Get up, go on your journey at the head of the people, that they may go in and occupy the land I swore to their ancestors to give them." So now, O Israel, what does the Lord your God require of you? Only to fear the Lord your God, to walk in all his ways, to love him, to serve the Lord your God with all your heart and with all your soul, to keep the commandments of the Lord and his decrees that I am commanding you today, for your own well-being. Although the heaven and the heavens of the heavens belong to the Lord your God, the earth with all that is in it, yet the Lord set his heart to love on your ancestors alone and chose you, their descendants after them, out of all the peoples, as it is today. Circumcise then the foreskin of your heart, and do not be stubborn any longer. For the Lord your God is God of gods and Lord of lords, the great God, mighty and awesome, who is not partial and takes no bribe, who executes justice for the orphan and the widow, and who loves the stranger, providing them food and clothing. You shall also love the stranger, for you were strangers in the land of Egypt. You shall fear the Lord your God. Him you shall serve, to him you shall hold fast, and by his name you shall swear. He is your praise, he is your God, who has done for you these great and awesome things that your own eyes have seen. Your ancestors went down to Egypt 70 persons, and now the Lord your God has made you numerous as the stars in heaven.
So there in Deuteronomy 10, Moses describes, after he had broken the first set of tablets that the Lord gave him, Moses describes the second tablets that held the 10 commandments. And he calls Israel at the end of this passage to fear the Lord, to walk in his ways, to love the Lord, and to serve the Lord and keep his commandments. This call to serve the Lord is repeated 85 times in the Old Testament. Paul's overwhelming concern is that we be intentional about following Jesus in every aspect of our life. Let's not do things that distract us from our task. So what do we do about this today? Take time to look at your life. Are you distracted? Give it up. Scripture reading from the New Revised Standard Version by Emily Herrera. If you like what you heard today, subscribe.